Badass Attitudes, licensed here. A podcast for successful badassery with Kelly Orchard. Certifying badasses, one podcast at a time.
That is right. I am certifying badasses one podcast at a time. Thank you, Mr. Ocean. So here I am, Kelly Orchard, the badass certifier, sitting at a small trailer table with my laptop and my mic in front of me and all these notes of things that I've pulled out from my archives, or not really my archives, just notes that I have kept that I just cannot dispose of, like, ideas and thoughts and concepts. And as here I am in Texas, right? If you're following the podcast and you're following me, you know that I am in Georgetown, Texas, staying here for the entire month. And this is the first time I've ever recorded a podcast, A, from a different state than California, B, in a trailer, and C, away from home and my desk and my usual professional comfort zone, which I'm finding I already enjoy this. So yesterday was my first day with clients, and it was a completely enjoyable experience because it's like a regular therapy or session day, and but in between sessions I could just open up the trailer door and, hey, I'm camping. It feels more like a vacation, and especially in the work that I do, working with clients, it's I find that part enjoyable. I'm talking to people who I care about and who I actually do, in my own way, love. And I project that love onto them. And so yesterday, being able to kind of open up the trailer door and I'm in a campground, and the weather is completely different than it would be in California. Here we are in Texas, and the weather yesterday was gloomy and a little chilly, and there was some moisture in the air. And I got to tell you, anybody who knows me in person and knows my hair, it's curly. My hair is curly, and I work very hard to get it to go straight. And most of the time, I fail. First of all, I fail at that, and I always find that, listen, I'm not lazy at this event here. I'm trying to prevent my head from getting sweaty, because once it does, my hair is going to curl like a curlicue. But out here in Texas, there's nothing I could do about it, and my hair is loving the humidity and the moisture in the air here. I'll have to take a picture of my curly top head and share it on social media for you. But the reason I came out here was my daughter. My daughter had a baby last month, a little Emmett, and he's 1 month old as of on the 18th. He was exactly 1 month old, and so this is a first for all of us. This is my 5th grandchild, and I've been there for the births of all the other 4. And so this is a different one, and I wasn't able to be there like right after the birth, so I didn't even meet him in person until he was a month old. But this is a very special time. It's different. So I'm spending a month out here. They have their own trailer, so no, I am not sitting in a trailer with a family of 5 with a newborn trying to do a podcast or therapy sessions. I rented a space here at the RV park, and my daughter and son-in-law have their spare travel trailer. They're living in one of those more permanent destination trailers. So it works out really well. I have my own space and my own privacy, and I can do my work and still be working remotely, which is something new for me that I wanted to try. And that's why the other day, or last week, as I did the podcast and I said, hey, I'm going to Texas. This is the drill. Expect transformation. Transformation is coming. And what I mean by that is I don't really know what the future holds. Do you? Nobody does. The world in the last 2 years has completely flipped upside down, shaken, and turned over again. If you want to look at it as, like one of those snow globes, that's how I've often looked at how certain things in my life have, periods of my life, my snow globe got turned upside down, shaken, and turned back over. And it's a whole new picture now, and we still got to wait for all the snow to make its way down to the bottom of the, for the dust to settle, basically, to the bottom of the base. So it happened to all of us. And so as I was driving out here, which, the drive from California to Georgetown, Texas is 20 hours. Okay. No, I did not do that in one shot. I drove on Thursday. I left last Thursday, and I did majority of the driving on that day. I think I did about 13 hours. Now, normally I don't think I'll do that, but I was pretty anxious to get to see my grandson, but with daylight hours, I just felt that I could make it. And by the time I'd gotten to the halfway point where I had stopped in December, it was, it wasn't cold, it wasn't dark yet. It was only, 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And so I decided to go another couple of hours. So that's what kind of, I can't say I pushed myself. I wasn't ready to stop at 5. I knew what was ahead of me the next day, and I made a decision. See, my problem is that my vision is, as I get older, it's being affected by darkness. So driving at nighttime is just not possible for me. It becomes one of those white knucklers. I'm really nervous. I'm anxious, and it's just not enjoyable. I do love driving at night, but now somebody else has to be doing the driving. So as I'm traveling alone, I had to stop. So then I got up early in the morning. I stopped in, I think it was Van Horn, Texas, and I found a nice a Holiday Inn Express right off the freeway. Very convenient, very cozy, very fine. So unfortunate we have to pay so much money to just get 8 hours of sleep and then be off again before dawn, but that's the way it is. And interestingly, in Van Horn, Texas, the time change is only 3 miles, before you get to that particular spot. So suddenly it's like 2 hours later, like literally suddenly I get to the hotel and it's 2 hours later. Now it's 10 o'clock instead of what it would have been at home, which would have been 8. So my whole body is just still trying to adjust to the time difference because it's 2 hours earlier in California than it is here in Texas. And so even with my client schedule, I'm having to be very aware of the clock and what time it really is at home because that's how my clients are scheduled. So, my poor little head is sort of all over the place. And that's, coming out here and doing this is an exercise in can I and do I and would I like to be working remotely when I'm working with clients? And so far, the answer is absolutely. So, but while I was driving on my way out here, I was thinking about people like you, badasses who have been through the ringer like myself, not only in the last couple of years, but maybe a couple of years ago, you were already on a path to personal growth or business growth, or you had some sort of goals and some sort of vision in your mind for what your future, you wanted it to look like. You were working on getting, that healthy mindset, and then boom, everything came to a screeching halt. And then we've all suffered different significant losses in one way or another. That's who I'm talking to. Could be everybody, right? It is everybody. So let's talk about, the grief of that and the loss of that and how you're feeling about it. But then let's talk about a solution on how to find a new transformation. Find your way recalibrating your life. Recalibration is a technical engineering term, but we all understand what that means. It's not that you have to redo your whole life. It's not that you've made mistakes. This is not what this is about. We have all experienced a complete upheaval and turning upside down of our lives. Regardless of which direction it has gone for you, whether it's your work, your relationships, maybe you've experiencing deaths of loved ones and friends or family, or the death of your job, or the death of the life that you thought you were going to live, right? It's all grief. So I'm not going to talk specifically about the symptoms of grief today, but we can talk about how grief, if left untreated, can develop into chronic depression. Chronic depression is my specialty because I understand those symptoms now. When I suffered my heart problem, heart failure in 2006, I'd never really been a depressed person. I was always usually upbeat, even though I'd been through some tough times. But this was, I had lost interest in anything that I enjoyed. I found myself feeling anxious and just sad and hopeless, sleeping a lot, crying a lot. And, at first attributing it to, I have a chronic health issue and I don't know if I'm going to survive this. And every time I go to the doctor, it's either good news or bad news. But the anxiety of going before the doctor, was, which is it going to be? I don't know. And sometimes it was good news and sometimes it was bad news. And that went on for 2.5 years, along with treatments and medications and literally just feeling pretty crappy with no energy. And I developed depression from it. Now, fortunately for me, I had some tools in my toolbox already to have a general understanding of what was happening. But that is when I made the decision to change my entire career from radio to counseling. And honestly, if I had known what the journey would be to become a licensed marriage and family therapist before I made the decision to do it, I probably wouldn't have gone through with it. Mainly just because of all the work involved in the time and the financial sacrifices that I needed to make to get there. Now, I am not encouraging you that you need to go to grad school and get huge student loan debt and do all of that work. But my question to you is, are you ready for a change in your life? Is the pain of where you are right now greater than the effort that it would take to have a change and improve your mindset, improve your perspective, improve your future prospects, even though maybe some of the dreams and the goals that you had set a few years ago are no longer achievable, no longer relevant? Been there. Have already transformed my life, and now I find that I want to do it again. It's not that I need to, it's not that I have to, but some of the things that I had thought I wanted to do a few years ago that I was building upon and working toward, I'm no longer that passionate about. For example, I was working on, consulting and doing coaching and speaking engagements, in the effort of business and building leadership and team building and focusing on building that quality team in your office environment. Not that I don't care about business anymore. I do care about your business, what business you're in and how you are functioning. But it's more about the person, the individual, actually just going back to my roots of the individual person. Like, for example, this is not business. It is personal. No matter what it is that you're doing in your life, whether you're working in a business for somebody else, whether you own a business and that you're the boss, whether you're a stay-at-home person, family member, and you don't work, or maybe you can't work, or we're talking about you in your relationships with others, friends, spouse, significant other, children, parents, whatever it is, it's personal. And that's where we are today. We are in a personal time of transformation. I hear in all of the business stuff that I read and continue to read, it's compassionate leadership, it's empathy, it's being authentic. These are things that I had started talking about a few years ago because it's what I learned. It's what I learned about things that had gone on in my family's radio station when we were operating that could have been improved upon or done better. Things that I see in radio stations when I was consulting, issues that could have been improved upon, things that I knew how I could improve it now based on my education, skills, and experience. But the truth of the matter was, it wasn't about the business that I cared about so much. It was about the individual who's working in that business. Now, whether they're individuals or the whole team, but I like to treat the whole person. And so for me, my transformation is to basically return to my roots for Kelly Orchard's Apple a Day, Successful Badassery, and focusing on the individual person. So I'm really glad to be here in Texas because it has caused me, and it will continue to cause me to focus on what I got going on here, which is causing me, it's like if I'm not in Temecula where I live, working from Michelle's place where I broadcast and podcast and do my practice from, I am not engaging in all of the networking events, the meetings, the interactions with they're not my coworkers, but my colleagues and associates within Michelle's Place. I have to keep reminding people, I don't work at Michelle's Place. I don't work for Michelle's Place. My office is in Michelle's Place and I'm a tenant. And I do participate and volunteer, like with my dance party. We have a dance party on Mondays at 3. I run the grief program over at Michelle's Place now, which is a new component, which I'm thrilled about, starting that back up in June. And I'm not going to my Rotary Club or my networking meetings or the chamber mixes or anything while I'm here. So I have a little bit of slower downtime to focus on what I'm working on. And so I am working on a program for this summer, which is going to have some really cool components to it. And I'm only looking for 5 to 10 people. So if that's you, you might want to sign up now or get enrolled now. I'm working on all the elements. But it's going to include a 6-week summer program. We're going to hop on the bus to Badassville for summer and flip the format and transform your life and recalibrate. So I have a digital program. It's self-paced, short lectures with worksheets. And there's about 26 of them. So it takes you, if you just did one a day for a month, you will completely transform your life at the end of that month. You will have new knowledge of who you are. And it's part of the Badass program, but it's also my Tools for Success, which is the Apple a Day program. So basically, being your badass self doesn't just happen overnight. It takes perpetual pruning and work. So throughout my program, you'll learn that small, persistent steps are going to allow you to achieve these goals securely rather than attempt the fast track results that never last for long in the long term, right? I've experienced that myself. What I've done is I've pulled together different psychotherapy methods from cognitive behavioral therapy, solution-focused, narrative therapy, and strategic methods to build you a toolbox that are going to help you identify your strengths to grow confidently, identify your goals, and cultivate positive measures to help you get there. See, we might have new goals that we need to achieve. Do you even know where you want to go at this point? My program will help you figure out what it is you want to do. And it will help you weed out what's not working in your life right now so you can fertilize and grow what is working. Then we'll prune back old behaviors and unrealistic expectations to make way for successful badassery, while we're planting new seeds for personal and professional growth and create an action plan for success. We can focus on what's important right now so that you can live intentionally, learn your true purpose and passion, or maybe your purpose and passion has now changed. So we'll also be able to gain some clarity, build your confidence, and some new skills. All right, so I'm only looking for 5 to 10 people to join in this group because I do want to keep it small. I want you to feel that it's intimate. So you'll get your digital program that you can work on independently on your own time. I'm also going to send you, I'm also going to enroll you in the Badass certification class, which is online and digital. Once again, you can do it at your own pace. And then I'm going to send you a welcome package with badass stickers, buttons, your badass ID card, a water bottle, coffee mug, and all 5 of my books. Not only that, we're going to have 6 group coaching Zoom calls each Friday morning. And then when I say Friday morning, in 90 minutes, it'll help you recalibrate from the week that has passed, set yourself up for a self-care, healthy weekend. And during those sessions, I'll be teaching you the heart, math, breathing, and mindset techniques to get you into coherence, which will reduce your stress, the negative impact on stress, and help you think more clearly. But we're also going to be learning about emotional intelligence, and I'll help you with your badass soundtrack. We'll talk music. So those 90-minute calls are going to be fun and lively, and a chance for you to feel like a sense of community with others who are also transforming their lives and not giving up on, because we've been cut to our knees, haven't we? The rug pulled out from under us and realized there was no secure floor underneath that rug. So as I was coming out here, I realized I do want to do this with some badasses out there. And then once you're done with the program, and it was only 6 weeks, I will send you the License to Be Badass diploma that you have earned. So lots of great stuff in that. Be looking for my emails, all right? So you're going to get workshops, links, self-paced, repeatable steps. And so I'm just now literally just getting started to even just promote it and take enrollment. And like I said, I only want 5 to 10 people. So if you think you want to be one of those people, I would suggest you get started now, because you'll have access as soon as you sign up. You'll have access to all the program, and I'll send you all the stuff. The Zoom calls are going to start later on this summer, but right now I'm just gearing up to help you also transform your life. So a little bit about heart math. Let me tell you about the science of the heart, because as you consider this, I want you to know that, this is a brief introduction to what the Heart Math Institute has revealed. So scientific research from the Heart Math Institute, they're an organization that studies heart-brain connection and its relationship to stress and mood in humans. So this is how the organization describes their findings as found on their website. Heart Math research tests theories about the electromagnetic field of the human heart using machines that measure faint magnetic fields like an MRI or an EEG. The heart's electrical field is 60 times greater than that of the brain. Its magnetic field is 5,000 times greater than that of the brain. The heart generates the strongest electromagnetic field in the body, and its pumping action transmits powerful rhythmic information patterns containing neurological, hormonal, and electromagnetic data to the brain and throughout the rest of the body. When I describe this, can you understand why I use radio technology all the time? And that's why the heart-brain connection, coherence, and radio technology, frequency, vibration, and electromagnetic fields seem very correlated to me. The heart sends more information to the brain than the brain sends to the heart. So the heart basically has a mind of its own. The field is large enough to extend several feet to others. So imagine how that impacts your environment. Positive moods, gratitude, joy, and happiness will create a larger and more expanded heart field, which is more productive. Think about that. You're sharing it with others. All right. And a negative mood like greed, anger, sadness, depression create a constricted heart field, and that's more destructive. Heart math shows the benefit when we coordinate our breath with our heartbeat in various repetitive patterns. This is one of the methods that helped me discover the benefits of having your own badass soundtrack. All right, so these are some of the things that we will be working on during this program. I haven't even named it. That's why it is so fresh and so new that I haven't even named it. I'm just calling it, have a badass summer. Hop on the bus to Badassville. We're all going there together. And I'm only looking for 5 to 10 people. Not because I don't know what I'm doing, but because the elements are all there. It's all ready for you. But mainly just because I want to keep it small and intimate. I want you to feel like you're getting some serious one-on-one attention. So who is this for? For anybody who's been through hell and back, basically, the last couple of years. It's for men and women. It's for anyone who wants to have a successfully badass lifestyle. And I mean that in the most genuine terms. It means that you've been through the ringer, you've stood through the storm, and you're looking to find purpose and personal growth in spite of it. In fact, because of it. Because you're smarter, wiser, and more resilient than you've ever been before. But you might need some new tools to figure out where you want to go from here and what you might want to do. Maybe how to think differently or how to change your perspective. Or maybe you just need some stress reducing techniques like heart math or using music so that you can find your passion. Clients are telling me all the time that, give yourself permission to dance in your living room. Just a client yesterday was sharing with me, listening to some old tunes that reminded them of college years or high school years. And they took the moment to just dance and sing and hop around the living room, and it completely shifted their mood and it carried into the next day. And I confessed, I do that almost every single night. I at least have my own little personal dance party because I do know the positive benefits that it will have for you as well. So that is my podcast here from Georgetown, Texas. And I do appreciate you for coming back and just following me and taking some of these and sharing them with others, because I am on a mission to help you recalibrate and transform the life that fell apart. You're not behind. You did not fail. You are not making mistakes. Everything that has gone on has shifted everything for all of us. Now it's just a matter of, what do you want to do from here? How can you practice patience while you're going through it? Maybe you don't actually know what it is you want to do. So guess what? I can help you with that. And I would love to help you with that. All right? Because I got to be honest with you, I've reinvented my whole life and career passions and perspective so many times. It feels like a normal thing for me to do. And that's what I'm doing now. I'm not reinventing myself. Kelly Orchard's Apple a Day is going strong with radio and on the podcast. And what I may do is just update the logo. Maybe change the color. Maybe have Kelly Orchard's Apple a Day match the license to be badass with the red. Maybe I need to go for a red apple instead of a green apple. That's the only change. But I thought, all right, well, put those two together and it'll be great, because it is, as you know what I say, as an apple is a healthy ingredient to a healthy diet for your body. Well, Kelly Orchard's Apple a Day is a healthy ingredient for your mind, body, and spirit. And it is an essential ingredient to the license to living a successfully badass life. And so in the Badass program, I've already shared with you as an acronym, and we go through the program of be yourself, having a positive attitude, deciding you're going to grow and succeed, being aware of your emotions and others, and steadfastly staying the course. And with all of that, there are specific tools that I have for you to help you know who you are, to help you practice positivity and understand the elements of it. So it's not toxic positivity, but it's a good attitude adjustment. And then the design and staying the course and being determined with this new discipline. And then being aware of how it's affecting you and being flexible and nimble when there's an obstacle or an obstruction that gets in your way, but staying the course, because when things don't happen for us quickly enough or in our time frame, we think we want to quit. That's what being successfully badass in today's urban culture is all about. So we're staying the course. We're also being flexible and nimble, because I really want to help you transform your life and recalibrate from where we got off track. And maybe we need to forge a new track. All right, so speaking of track, I've got Mr. Bobby Ocean's tracks for you. Stay tuned and start out with the Badass Habits ebook. The link is in the show notes for getting your Badass Habits ebook. You can get started right now. Check that out. It's part of the program. Take it away, Mr. Ocean.
When the bus arrives at Badassville, you discover it's not a place, it's a state of being. Snag your Badass Habits ebook. Get started on your badass journey. Go to licensedtobebadass.com. Hop on the bus to Badassville.